consider myself to be quite the storyteller. So during the day, I'd say probably 99.99% of the things I say are stories in some shape, form, or fashion.
I can tell you one of them, and I don't know if it was the most important or anything that to my life, but it was certainly important for me at the time. Was the time I got my first car when I turned 16 years old.
Well, I guess one that sticks out is the day my daughter was born. That's the day that'll always kind of, just because it was so unique and the whole thing, and being there in the room when she was born and watching her come out and all that was it was pretty significant. And
Think about any story.
That's really kind of any story.
Could be going to the grocery store. Could be something that happened yesterday. Could be going to class.
I guess like going to Lone Star, my drumline in Dallas or whatever, and winning, that was a cool thing.
Cool. So you're in drumline?
Yeah.
When you say story, what kind of story are you looking for?
Every answer you say is going to be right for me. And you can tell me about when you went to the grocery store. You can tell me when you first got your dog. You can tell me anything like that.
I guess I can tell you a story about when I was in second grade and I cried because I had gotten one question wrong on a quiz, and it really helped me to be beneficial because I really love to learn, and so it just made me work even harder to get a higher grade than what I had.
Can you just tell me a story? Any story.
Okay, so I'm currently going to the University of Kansas to major in pre-pharmacy. I chose this field due to my past experience of 8th grade. What happened was my dad had passed away, and when he had passed away, there was this one medicine, and it was a pill that he needed where it could have saved his life. And at the time when we was all in the car when it was happening, we didn't know exactly what was going on because he kept it to himself since he didn't want that pressure and stress on the family. And so he wound up passing away from it, but we learned to find out once we got to the hospital and talking with the Army because he was in the VA, or talking with the VA because he was in the Army, sorry, that this one pill, all we had to do was place it underneath his tongue and it could have saved his life. But since we was his family and he kept it to himself, we didn't know at the time. And so I want to get into the pharmacy business to learn more about medicine in case situations like that happen, or anyone else around to help the situation and know things about medicine. So that's what I want to do. So that's my follow-up.
And so with that story, you talked about how you want to apply.
All right. I'd like to tell a story about the time in junior year I got accused of cheating on a practice ACT exam. We took a practice took a practice ACT exam, and the way they had it set up is they'd have people come in from, I forgot what it's called, Princeton. I think it's like the company over the ACT is Princeton, something like that. So Princeton Review. They'd have Princeton Review come in twice a week, and they'd teach us how, like, techniques and stuff to get better scores. Before Princeton Review came in, they'd have us take an exam that'd show you where you are currently so they can view the measurements when you finish at the end. So I took it before, and I got a 24 composite all the way through. And then at the end, I ended up taking it, and I got a 27 composite. And I got a 24 math, 25 in reading, and well, the important thing is I got a 35 in math. And then when they saw that, they're like, it's not possible for you to make that kind of improvement. And they're like, well, you must have had some kind of help, because there's no way you can go from a 23 in science to a 35 in math. And that just really messed with me, you know, like, you can't just, you're doubting my abilities to become a better person. You're saying, like, I can't improve myself, and if I do, and it's too substantial, that I'm cheating, you know what I mean? Like, that kind of messed with me. But then, you know, I just kind of hang tight, and I was like, you know, I didn't cheat. So you can sit here and accuse me of it, but I didn't do it. So it eventually passed. They couldn't really nail anything to me, that kind of thing. And it just kind of let you know, like, you can't let anybody knock you off your game, you know, that kind of thing. Like, just because they're saying, I don't think you can make it, just prove them wrong and be like, I can make it.
All right, I got a story. I went to the store last night, right? It was with my mama, And this old lady, she tried to get at me. I was like, damn, she's like 55 years old. So I was like, I wasn't trying to get at her. I was trying to be nice and stuff. Then she came on, touched me, asking her to give me stuff for her top shelf. And I was like, she bugging. But then I ended up giving her my number, so.
And what about that story is significant to you? Why do you remember that?
I remember because she thought I was a handsome young man. So I thought I looked good that day.
So you remember that? Awesome.
Yeah, I remember that.
Well, when I say that I'm a storyteller, I mean that I get true like enjoyment out of the reaction of others and how people connect to what you're saying. And so it's not so much about me thinking that like you said, what did you say? You said, I don't know what you just said. Like looking at Taylor for some answers.
I'm a very I'm a person that like if someone says something and I want to express something or like tell a story about it, I'll tell the story and they probably won't care, but I will tell the story because I think it's really cool.
Oh, right. It might not feel like, as a teenager, I know it might not, you might not feel the urge to like listen to older people's stories or even tell your own, but I think it comes with age. Like, I didn't pay attention in history class. I wasn't really interested in my family's history until I hit like 19 or 20. And then all of a sudden I was like, where do we come from? Who are we? Who are my relatives? How do we get here? Tell me everything about our family and our history.
The younger generation is, they're just into their, their computers and online and all of that stuff. I'm online, but I don't live and breathe it like people.
Kids are freaking crazy, and it's funny, but not only kids, adults are crazy too. And whenever they were telling their stories, you could for sure tell, oh my god, that's exactly something that they would do, like you could see it in their face, like, oh, that's them, I can see them doing that and that. It's so funny. But yeah,
what do you think about the things that kids are doing like nowadays? Like, how do you justify like what kids do? Like you said, they're crazy, right? Like, why do you think we do what we do?
I think kids do what they do because they have seen, like their elders to do boring stuff, so they want to do crazy stuff. That didn't make any sense. But you know what I mean, Okay, well, I know what I mean. It's my story. I'll tell you what I want to say.
There you go. Okay.
Boom.
All right. And that's a wrap.